Hi, my name's Jeff Scott. I'm a National Senior Teaching Fellow with the Australian Government's Office for Learning and Teaching, and what I wanted to talk briefly about today is the shift that's taking place around the world in higher education, away from looking just at the quality of the inputs to the quality of the outcomes and the impact of what's happening. And many governments now are talking about the notion of value add, and how do we know that we're getting the graduates we really need, not just for today, but for tomorrow. And so what I thought I'd do is just explore with you a concept and a way of thinking about that challenge, which appears to be having resonance with a large number of folks. And it's the concept of being work ready plus. We know that graduates go to university because they would like to get a job, and therefore it would be very naive as we're trying to look at getting better outcomes for graduates if we didn't actually look at what they would need in order to be employable in their chosen profession. However, there's a lot of works taking place around the world on how you assess, but not a lot on looking at what we're assessing in the first place. And this is where the work ready plus concept might come in. So we've just said, first of all, what we go for is work ready, but I believe if we're going to actually produce graduates who are going to be the leaders of tomorrow, the inventors of tomorrow, we've actually got to have, as part of our curriculum and assessment, something more than just testing their skills and knowledge. And what is that? Well, the plus for me in Work Ready Plus is, number one, every graduate should be sustainability literate. That is, that they should understand the implications of social, cultural, economic and environmental sustainability in their chosen profession. The second is that every graduate should be change implementation savvy. They should be able to, in fact, engage many people, not just their friends in the workplace, to actually make a desired change work in practice. And they therefore need to be practicing these things in the curriculum, and these things need to be assessed. The third dimension of the plus is that every graduate should have some practice in creation and invention as part of their curriculum. In other words, not just practice regurgitating the skills and knowledge to be work ready. They should be given practice to perhaps invent something that might become a new stream of income, because there's no doubt that in many countries, like mine, we make a lot of money in our economy by digging things up and exporting them. But is that what's going to be necessary for the next 10 to 15 years to create a robust economy in a country like Australia? So the first plus is sustainability literate. The second plus is change implementation savvy. The third one is creation and invention, and I'm very taken by Stanford and MIT actually having graduates work together across disciplines to invent something before they leave the university. And the final one is a little bit like the traditional role of the university, which some are arguing is actually being lost. And that is that every graduate, before they leave the university, should have come to a considered position on the 4 tacit assumptions driving the 21st century agenda. Their considered position, not someone else's imposed on them. The first considered position should be around the tacit assumption that growth is always good. The second one is that consumption is happiness. And the third one is that information and communications technology and social media and all of the things that go with the fact that we're now a linked world via those techniques, that is always good, no matter what happens. And the final one is that globalisation is just great, that really the ideal society, wherever you go in the world, is it all look exactly the same as the other parts of the world. So I wanted to simply raise then this idea that we shouldn't just get good at how we assess in universities, which we've done a lot of work on. We've got to get much more intentional and focused on, are we assessing what counts in the first place? Otherwise, what we could be doing is assessing something that does not matter for the future of our nations. So I leave that thought with you. Let's get much better at looking at the what of assessment, not just the how. And thank you very much.